always say this. You guys hear me say this too a lot. When you get a score, can you get another team to go 3 and out right out of the gate when you kick back off to them? That's exactly what Ohio State did. Zach Harrison and Tommy Eichenberg had good plays on that next drive. They get Iowa 3 and out, and they punt it back to Ohio State. So here you go. You're sitting there thinking to yourself, hey, this is exactly how we want to do it. Defense is stepping up. And what happens? Ohio State goes on an empty set. C.J. Stroud back there by himself. There's miscommunication on a twist between Donovan Jackson and DeJuan Jones. And the defensive end loops under the defensive tackle, and Stroud gets hit. It's a great play by Iowa. There's a fumble, and the guy that causes the sack picks it up, runs it into the end zone for a touchdown. And before you know it, you're sitting there thinking to yourself, what in the world just happened here? And Iowa and their defense up 7-3. So I always like to say this, as you guys know here too, how do you respond after you go down, or how do you respond after some misfortune happens? Well, this is why I think Ohio State is an elite team, okay? They responded like an elite team does. They didn't flinch. They got the kickoff. They went on a 10-play, 75-yard drive in about almost 5 minutes or so. And it took a few extra plays than probably that's normal for Ohio State. But Maya Williams comes in. He smashes it in from 2 yards out, and they go up 10-7 in the game. Now, Williams had a nice run. Fleming's had a nice catch down the middle as well. So, yeah, this is exactly what you want. A nice response from Ohio State after they go down 7-3. 10-7, go back to Iowa. And Zach Harrison played an absolutely tremendous game today for Ohio State defensively. He gets in with a good sack and a strip. Ohio State with a nice recovery. And right there again, they're right back in plus territory. And again, as fans, and I'm guilty myself, I'm sitting there thinking to yourself, okay, they held us that time. Now let's see what Ohio State. We get another great play here on defense. Let's take it in for 6, and we're off and running. And then you're just looking at thinking, what's the final score going to be at that point? But again, what did I tell you about Iowa's defense? Iowa's defense stepping up big, and Ohio State only ran 3 plays again and couldn't pick up a first down. But Noah Ruggles comes back in and kicks a 41-yard field goal to go up 13-7. So, again, you're frustrated, but then again, Ohio State's still getting points off of turnovers, which you do like as well. Back to Iowa. They go 3 and out again, and again, it's an anemic offense. It's unbelievable, and I'm going to talk more about that later. But so they come into punt, and they also have one of their rugby-style kickers, which obviously likes to go right, just like Jesse Mirko does. And he decides to go ahead and try to pick up a first down. Credit to Ohio State special teams. Caden Curry and I believe might have been Denzel Burke, if I'm not mistaken. I can't remember. But they didn't bail out and take off. They came up with a big stop right there and didn't let that punter pick up that first down. So once again, Ohio State does a great job getting that stop. They're in plus territory again against Iowa. And this time they at least pick up a first down, but they only run 5 plays. They only go 17 yards. Noah Ruggles comes back in, 35-yard field goal at 16-7. And you're feeling somewhat okay, but you're a little bit disappointed at the offense. Now, you got to remember, guys, this offense has been humming since the Notre Dame game, okay? So it's okay to struggle a little bit, and that's what I was hoping would happen a little bit today with Ohio State. It has just been too easy offensively for Ohio State so far. It's been absolutely too easy since the Notre Dame game. So Noah Ruggles comes in, as I said, 16-7. First quarter ends, and Iowa gets the ball, and they go on a decent drive themselves. They go 10 plays, 44 yards. It was aided by a pass interference call. Kind of a tough call. McAllister did kind of grab his hip a little bit. I mean, with the contact that was going on with some of the Ohio State receivers, you might let it go a little bit. The Iowa receiver kind of sold it too, because as an official, you're looking to see if there's an advantage gain. That's where that penalty comes out. And I think he felt that on that tug on his hip, there was an advantage gained by Ohio State's defense, and that's why the flag was thrown. But again, it was kept on by a pass interference, and Ohio State's able to buck up again defensively. And credit to Iowa, they've got a field goal kicker comes out and bangs a 49-yarder. So it's 16-10 early in the second quarter. And so you're sitting there, you're thinking to yourself, what, just a very bumpy first quarter, part of the second quarter. Ohio State's defense is playing well. The offense is kind of just struggling out of the gate right now, and it's only 16-10. But honestly, I didn't feel any type of pressure on Ohio State at that point. I just felt that they needed to get back into some sort of rhythm, and that was going to come over a period of the game to when they could get back into the flow offensively. So Ohio State, after that field goal, they end up having to punt the first time. And again, our guy, Jesse Mirko, you got to love him, man. After a first down, Mirko hits a 50-yard punt that puts Iowa on their own 3-yard line. And now here you go as Iowa. You're an anemic offense to begin with. Now you're inside the 5, going against an Ohio State defense, which is really, really being aggressive, and they smell a little bit of blood in the water right now, and they don't feel threatened by it. So with that, they can be aggressive. And what do you want to do? You want to try to get that 3 and out and have to force that team to punt out of their own end zone. And our man again, Zach Harrison, with a knockdown pass deflection on third down, and it forces Iowa to have to kick out of their own end zone. Egbuka with a decent return. Ohio State, great field position again. Okay, great field position again. And once again, though, you got to give credit to Iowa's defense. They're on the plus side of the field, Ohio State, with this high octane offense, and they end up forcing another field goal for Ohio State. And again, credit to Iowa's defense, guys. You got to give them a little bit of credit here. They could have very easily just bowed out and just called it a day, but that's not how they are. They play fundamentally sound football. They played a lot of man-to-man today that was able to get Ohio State on their heels a little bit, especially trying to run the football. So, again, they make a great stop and hold Ohio State. Ruggles comes in, kicks another field goal, and now it's 19-10. So it's 19-10. It's late in the second quarter, and again, I didn't feel any type of issues. Basically, I was just a little disappointed at the offense, how it was going right there. There was just no rhythm, very stagnant. They just weren't hitting plays, and so be it. All right. So after the kick, you got to give credit to Trainum. Great special teams play. He pins Iowa back on about their own 15-yard line, and what happens? Ohio State gets their first pick 6 of the year. I don't know what Petras was doing. I thought his arm might have got hit on the pass. It looked like somebody caught him on his elbow, and he threw it right to Tommy Eichenberg. Eichenberg was able to snatch it right out of the air and go to 12 or 13 yards into the end zone for a touchdown. And Ohio State had its first pick 6 of the year, and it's 26-10, and that's your halftime score at that point.